Morning, everybody. I'm here with your week 5 civics assignment. This week, we're going to jump back into the civics initiative project, and I have what we call a revised section 3. Okay, so it's very much like section 3. So if you've done some of the work for section 3, that can plug in. But I have some new questions in there for you because a lot has changed in the last month and a half or so. So basically we're revisiting that, and that's your assignment for the week, is to complete this section. I made a slideshow to go along with it to kind of just show you some of the outlines of what the section is, but it's kind of just to dress it all up. So with that, let me share the screen. We'll get going. We'll hop right into this. So you go to this week's classwork, and it is Friday, May 1st today. We are in May. This will be the new normal going forward, is that you will get an assignment on Friday. I will upload these on Friday, and they will be due a week from today. They are due at the end of next week. So here is your work, same rubric as we've been using, and your outline for section 5, your revised section 3. This is your only assignment for this week. If you haven't turned something in from the previous weeks, that could also be part of your assignment this week, to turn in anything that is late, okay? So your revised section 3, question 1, what action did you take before school closed? Okay, so this is all gonna go back to before school closed, okay? You don't have to do anything new with the civics project. If you can and you want to, please do. I would love that, okay? But the reason section 3 is important is because we've spent so much time, done so much work on the civics project, that we need to start pulling what we have together. And then in a few weeks, you're going to have a final paper due. That's going to be your assignment, your remote learning assignment. We'll be pulling it all together and writing a final paper, okay? And we'll go over that in a little while. Okay, so question 1, what action did you take? What did you get done in class? Who did you contact during class, outside of class? Okay, so I want to hear about the actions that you took for question 1. Okay, question 2, assuming we did not close school for the rest of the year due to the pandemic, what would your next steps have been? Okay, what would you have done next? I want you to describe and create a detailed game plan of what you would have done in the last 3 months of school to put your civics project into action. And remember, it's hypothetical. You can't do it. So be creative with it, okay? This is like your best case scenario. Ideally, how do you envision your action plan and final project would have turned out? Okay, so this is where you can get a little bit creative. Had we been in school, I would have done X, Y, and Z. I would have accomplished my goal of, okay? So again, we're not in school. We will not be going back this year. So be creative. Your best case scenario, how did your project turn out? That's what I want to hear. Question 3, who had you met with before school closed? Who'd you speak to? Who'd you email? And what did you learn from these meetings? Did you have trouble getting in touch with people? What did you learn from that? Were people good to get back to you? They gave you some good information? You know, how did it go? I want to hear about that. How did your correspondence with people go? Question 4, after your midterm, the PSA, what are some of the ways that you can get other people involved in your initiative? Okay, so the PSA was to, throw data at people and let them know why this was a problem and to get them involved, okay? A public service announcement, a call for help from the public, okay? After that PSA, what are some other ways that you can get people involved in your initiative? Okay, and the last question is a reflection. Reflect on the process so far, okay? And questions to consider in describing your process. Work you've done in class, how did it go? Work you've done outside of class, was it hard to get things done outside of class? I wanna know from September to now what your process was. Reflect on it, okay? What worked, what didn't? I'm gonna add that in and another thing in a second to this question here. What worked and what didn't? And let's see, who'd you speak to? What roadblocks, problems did you run into? How did you get through or work around your problems? And the last question that I'm going to add after I finish filming this video is, would you still do the same initiative that you started at the beginning of the year if you had to do this again, or would you pick something new and why? Okay, so is this still your something that you're passionate about and that you want to change? Or is it something that you would do over again if you could? Okay. So I'm going to add those two questions in at the very end, right under here. Okay. I'm going to add them in under here is what worked and what didn't and why. And if you could do it all over again, would you pick the same initiative and see it through, or would you choose something else? Okay. And the very, very final thing is I'd like to see a little mock-up of what your poster would have looked like. Okay. You'll notice that I will add in the directions. If you brought your poster home and you have the time and you want to do a poster and take some pictures of it and attach them to an email to me at the end of the year, I would love that. But if you can't, I get it. I totally understand that. So it's not necessary to do an actual poster. If you want to, I would love it. Okay, I would love for you to finish a real poster. But if you can't, I just want to see a mock-up this week of what your poster would have looked like. Okay, so you're just going to put some text box in here, and in the slideshow that I've attached, there's the outline of what was supposed to be on your final poster. I'll add that slide into the slideshow so you know what to put on here. Okay, but this is just a mock-up of what it would have looked like. Okay, so this week we're really reflecting on what we've already done. If you look at the slideshow that goes along with this week, it just outlines all of what we just talked about. Your new section 3 looks like this. Okay, and I have all the questions here for you. Okay, and looking ahead, what I want you to be prepared for in a few weeks is your new final essay. Okay, your new final essay will consist of your new final essay will consist of the following sections. Okay, your introduction is your first paragraph. Your topic, what is it? Why is it important? Data, what information shows your problem needs to be addressed? That goes back to like your PSA. Your civic action plan, what have you done to solve your problem, and what would you have done to solve your problem? If school didn't close, what would you have done? And your process and reflection. This is how did your process start in September? What did you get done in class? What worked? What didn't? What would you have changed? And your conclusion wraps it all up. Are you happy with your project? What would you have changed? Would you pick a new topic, and why? Okay, so again, the essay portion of this is not going to be due till like our last weeks of remote learning, like the end of the year. But I just wanted to give you this now so you can start thinking about it. Okay, and your final poster, if you want to, it's not mandatory. If you brought a poster home, these are the different sections. Okay, the who am I, talk about yourself, your topic, your data, your civic action plan, your process and reflection, and your conclusion. And again, it's very similar to your final essay. It's just in small, more colorful bulleted points. Okay, and remember, you got this. Okay, so when you are done with this week, you upload it right back here to week 5. Your rubric, again, is accountability and personal responsibility. Okay, if you have any questions, stop into the Zoom meeting, stop into office hours next Friday. It will be due next Friday. If you need anything, shoot me an email or stop into office hours, okay? I miss you guys. Have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.